What's up YouTube, Webberz05 here, coming at you today with an interesting discussion. So recently something was brought up in my Digimon chat group on my Facebook, so that they've recently had a new there's a new limit regulation list that's coming up in September. That's like Digimon's equivalent of a ban list. One thing I noticed with Digimon is that they get this system called a paired ban. So that's like, so for the most recent they showed a specific Digimon as what they classify as card A, and then cards B and C, which work really well with it, which are apparently very broken with it in the game. So they make it as a pair band, so it's like you can use A or you can use B and C, but you can't mix them together. Which got me thinking, could this pair band system be something that could apply to Yu-Gi-Oh? So I started having a think about it. I checked over the list, and I thought back into the past, like, so in the past, Konami has done so many hits to the ban list of like, yeah, we have to get rid of this card because this card is abusing the hell out of it. Primarily on the reason that the card that's abusing the hell out of it is new, so we can't do anything to it yet, so we just have to get rid of this old problematic card. So Konami has done a lot of that in the past, so it just makes me think, if they introduced a pair ban system, could that potentially fix aspects of the game of like certain cards that didn't necessarily deserve to get hit? But if you pair it like that, could it work? So I've got the list up with me as well, and I went through it, and I think I've got some pretty good examples of how I think a pair ban list could work. So first one on my list, right at the top of the ban list from alphabetical, Barrier Statue of the Stormwinds. So naturally guys, this card got banned because of Fluanderies being able to just search it easily, normal summon it at the end of their combo, and then boom, your opponent can't special summon. Which by default, very justifiably banned. But that's kind of one of those, Stormwinds got banned because of the sins of Fluanderies Robina. So if you did a pair ban list system of saying like, you can either play Barrier Statue of the Stormwinds or Robina, that could potentially balance the situation, because it's either like Fluanderies gives up a lot of consistency for a floodgate. So for that reason, could easily work. Though, as I talk about it now, I realise if they had that choice of choosing either easy search, floodgate that just auto wins the game, I mean, it would still be at for that reason, it would still be at 3. They'd probably just pick the 3 barrier statue. That's actually probably a really bad suggestion. It's actually probably a really bad example, but could work. But before I get into any more of that, I'm just gonna move on, because that may have been like the worst example I've got on this list, but let's continue. So the next one I've got on my list going down is Spiral Master Plan. So naturally guys, this card got hit because when Link started becoming more of a thing, Spiral was just being very able to very easily loop this card into summoning out monsters to Link climb so easily. Why is that? Because Spiral Master Plan's not once per turn. It lets you very easily grab Spiral Mission Rescue, which you can then easily which back into time, Nightmares, easy discards, get into grave, banish, res, easy Link climbing. So naturally the process is one or the other. Without Spiral Mission Rescue, that means Spiral can't easily recur materials to Link climb and make these stupidly good boards. The closest alternative that they would have is Spiral Mission Assault, but that only lets you summon a Spiral in your hand, so you're limited to what resources you have. So this could hypothetically be a decent pair ban system of Spiral Master Plan, Spiral Mission Rescue. That could make Spiral still playable, because naturally they've got Master Plan. They just can't use the Rescue to make these stupidly overextended boards. But to be fair, even a Spiral ending on, oh god, I've forgotten its name already because I did used to play the deck when this like Sleeper. Yeah, even Spiral just ending on like Sleeper equipped with, forgotten the name of the equip, Last Resort. Spiral like that equipped with Last Resort. That's still a pretty good form of disruption. That's still a pretty decent form of disruption. So could that work? I think potentially it could, and it would probably keep Spiral in check. Then going a little bit further down the list, like I could make a couple of arguments of certain link monsters, like Halka Firebrax, because of the number of because from what happened with that, of the number of tuners that Konami had to hit previously because they were too easy going into Hal. I could just say like, yeah, just pick these ones off, but let's be honest guys, the number of tuners that Konami's going to keep coming up with, there's just going to be too many on the list to count. So, it wasn't going to go into that. Same reason I didn't go for certain other ones this. Because, here's my opinion guys, a pair ban list could help with some cards. It's not going to help with every card, because there are just some cards that have too much synergy with too many cards, you wouldn't be able to pair ban it. Like, to give examples, like Ajido and Kelbeck from Shizu, you would literally have to pair those with literally every single card that benefits from being sent to the grave off of a card effect. That's just too many for that reason. Naturally, you just have to ban it at that point. Okay. But yeah, as I said, going through the list, next one I came up with, this is probably a very easy one that would be very easy on a pair ban system, Bahamut Shark. Because naturally the main purpose of people summoning Bahamut Shark is to drop Toad. Like if you just pair ban the things of saying you can play Bahamut Shark or you can play Toad, people either have to play a larger main deck engine just to summon Toad, or they play a different target than Toad. Or they just play a different target than Toad. And when I checked over the list of things Bahamut Shark can summon, guys, there's very minimum things that's actually, outside of Toad, there's literally very minimum stuff actually worth summoning off of a Bahamut Shark. I think like the best option I could see was like Ribarian Shark, because of its effect of when it's sent to the grave, you can stack a rank up magic on top of your deck, so stack the 7th one, and then you've got an easy chaos. You've got an easy chaos over 100 number on your next turn, provided you get that far. But even still, that's not great. I think the closest option I did see was like the La Virtue Dragon, which would naturally search you Virtue Stream. But even that just doesn't feel. Even that still just doesn't kind of feel worth it. So yeah, I think that'd be a very easy pair ban. I think like the best option you could do off of that with Bahamut Shark, if you can't play it with Toad, is use it to summon any rank 3 water, use that rank 3 water with no materials to summon full armor Black Ray Lancer, and then from there you've got 2 rank 4s that aren't on, so you just go Utopic Future Draco. Which, to be fair, still seems a pretty hard use of it. But you know, but again, that's a lot. But that's naturally a lot more extra deck space. So, I don't know. Maybe not. Next one I came up with is. Not necessarily sure this is a particularly decent pair ban, but it's something I did think of. Kashtira Arise Heart, just pairing it with Shangri-Ira, and then naturally you don't have the easy method of summoning it off just by having Shangri-Ira's effect trigger in that turn, and then you just have to hard XZ summon it with 3 level 7s, because you don't have Shangri-Ira to easily banish stuff face down to lock out zones. Could potentially work. Maybe not necessarily. This might be another one of those that's kind of a bad example, but you know, maybe And the last one I've got on the list for a pair ban example, Smoke Grenade the Thief in tandem with Infernoble Emperor Charles. This kind of feels like another one of those. It was an old card that wasn't really doing anything until some new card found a way to abuse the hell out of it. Like, seriously guys, who even knew Smoke Grenade the Thief existed as a card before Infernoble made it relevant? I certainly didn't. And frankly, Smoke Grenade the Thief, that's one of those, they probably could have just re-errated it to like a hard once per turn, and then it wouldn't have been so bad. But it's one of those really old cards that probably might have been slightly annoying back when it came out, but now it's just kind of like, because of Infernobles, it just got a bit too good. But if you pair ban it with Infernoble Emperor Charles, it's not that bad. Like, they don't get the hand rip option, and it's like a really old card that didn't deserve to get hit for no reason. And that's about all the cards I was able to come up with for this. So, let me know. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if any of you guys can think of any cards that could work in like a pair ban list system of like, you can use this card, but you can't use this card, or vice versa, let me know down in the comments below what you think. And like, I potentially feel like this is something Konami could consider doing, because I was also talking to my friend Yugioh at my tournament yesterday. One of the things he talked about was that that's kind of how like the Duel Links ban list works, because they say if cards get hit to 1, you can only use one copy of a card that's at 1. Same with cards that are at 2, you can only use a maximum of 2 copies of those. So yeah, it's potentially something that they could consider within the future. So it could work, maybe. But yeah, let me know what you guys think, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will see you next time.